to today's What You Need to Know. I'm Ian Mason. It is Monday, November 4th. We are one day from Election Day, so for a lot of us, it's going to be very relieving when that's done. But today, before that, we still have a lot of election news to cover, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. As I already mentioned, we are one day from election, which means there's a few things you need to keep in mind when heading to the polls tomorrow. First, make sure to have your photo ID with you. While it can be expired, it needs to be issued by the state of Nebraska. Certain school IDs are also acceptable, as well as military IDs, passports, and certain hospital identification cards. We do have that full list on our website. Also, make sure to check your wardrobe before headed to the polls. You are not allowed to wear anything that displays a candidate preference or anything that could be considered electioneering to a polling place. If you don't remove the offending article, you could be turned away until you update your outfit. Plus, make sure to check out our voter guide. Double check what races you're voting in and who you can vote for. The Nebraska Secretary of State is predicting a 72% voter turnout this year, so there may be lines at the polls as well. And for some other election updates, more than 70 million Americans have already cast their ballots, according to the data gathered by 47 states and the District of Columbia. That figure is nearly 45% of the roughly 158 million votes cast for president in 2020. Nearly 70% of those votes were cast ahead of Election Day that year, which was during the pandemic. But during the 2022 midterms, roughly only half the votes were cast before Election Day. In related news, the Justice Department says it's sending election monitors to 86 counties in 27 states tomorrow to ensure the integrity of the general election. It's 49% more monitors since 2020 and the most in 2 decades. The announcement comes amid growing concerns of improper partisan influence and potential of voter suppression at election sites. All 7 of the contested swing states are on the Justice Department's list, along with a mix of dominantly red and blue states. While officials in some red states are pushing back, no counties in Nebraska were chosen to be monitored. And vote counting of early and mail-in ballots began this morning for some Nebraska counties, and that includes the 2 ballot measures on medical marijuana, one of which is seeing a legal roadblock on Friday in the middle of the trial, questioning several signatures that were collected. The plaintiff's attorney asked a Lancaster County District Court judge to prevent the counting of votes because evidence presented could call into question the results. But Judge Susan Strong said the evidence of invalid signatures was not overwhelming, clearing the way for election officials to count those votes. Nebraskans for medical marijuana are now urging their supporters to make sure the 2 ballot measures pass. One would legalize medical marijuana and the other would regulate it. It's unclear what the court will conclude and rule at the end of Monday if it's not continued. But it does remain possible that Nebraskans will be able to vote to approve medical marijuana as the petitions are litigated in court. Should Judge Strong conclude that the prosecution successfully argued that thousands of signatures should be considered invalid, the second half of the trial would be expected to begin sometime after Election Day. And in non-political news of the day, a new coffee shop will officially open its doors this morning, Grand Island. 7 Brew Coffee, based out of northwestern Arkansas, is located in the Sam's Club parking lot. The drive-through coffee shop also offers teas, smoothies, and matcha in addition to coffee drinks. This morning at the ribbon cutting, they announced they're going to donate $2,000 to the Central Nebraska Humane Society. And let's go ahead and get a check of the forecast for today. We do have chances of rain, maybe a rumble thunder here or there. I'm thinking those rumbles of thunder are probably going to be closer to tonight than they will be tomorrow. But that's definitely going to be something that we're going to keep track of, is those chances for some thunderstorms. Mainly those probably going to be in later in the week too. We have those chances as well. But lots of cloudy, overcast skies today, rain into tomorrow morning. But as far as Election Day is concerned, going to be 59 degrees outside, so not too bad. Maybe a light jacket is needed to go stand in line at the polls. That 40% chance of precipitation really early on in the day. Then Wednesday night, we do have another chance for some rain with clouds really going to be consistent throughout the next couple of days. As we're finally starting to enter in that fall phase, that means that we're going to have more clouds. We're going to have more chances for precipitation. So I'm really hoping that that ends up bringing an end to this whole drought that we've been facing in this extremely dry period. I'm hoping that we're able to get out of that. That is going to do it for me today. You can catch the latest news here at 11:30, as well as 5, 6, and 10. And make sure you stay tuned to our streaming desk as well as all those outlets tomorrow, because we will have all the election results as soon as we know them for you. Until then, have a great day.